Okay, my name is Paula Woods. I'm the author of the Charlotte Justice Mystery Series and 4 other books. I'm also a book critic whose work has appeared in the Los Angeles Times and your moderator today. The name of this panel is the Mystery Kingpins. I had suggested, with apologies to John Ford Noonan, 3 white dudes and a black chick sitting around talking. But somehow that didn't make the cut. I don't know why. But seriously, I have the distinct pleasure of sitting with 3 outstanding writers whose work explores life and crime in Southern California. Why are they called the Mystery Kingpins? Listen to their bios and you be the judge. Michael Connelly. Born in Philadelphia and raised in Florida, Michael is a former LA Times crime beat reporter. Experiences there and with 2 Florida newspapers have informed his 22 crime novels, which have sold over 50 million copies and been translated into 35 languages. Michael has won every imaginable crime writing award in the US, as well as in Japan, France, Italy, and Spain, including an LA Times book prize for Echo Park. His latest novels are The Scarecrow and 9 Dragons, both just out in paperback. His next novel, The Reversal, brings LAPD homicide detective Harry Bosch and attorney Mickey Howey together again, and it's being published on October 5th, 2010. Robert Crais. Bob brought years of television crime writing experience on Hill Street Blues, Cagney and Lacey, and Miami Vice and elsewhere to writing crime fiction, where he wrote the McCavity and Anthony Award-winning The Monkey's Raincoat, in which he introduced Elvis Cole, a character he based in part on his dad. Bob would go on to write 16 Elvis Cole Joe Pike crime novels and standalone bestsellers like Demolition Angel and Hostage, which was adapted for the screen and starred Bruce Willis. Bob has 18 million copies of his books in print in 20 countries and credits among his literary influences Raymond Chandler's The Little Sister. Bob's current book is The First Rule, featuring Joe Pike, and which I can tell you, since I reviewed it for the Times, is a terrific exploration of Pike's character and a deepening of the series. You don't like that?
He's nodding.
Oh, okay. And last, but by no means least, an LA native like me, Jeff Parker. Jeff was a reporter for 2 Orange County newspapers before his first novel, Laguna Heat, was published to rave reviews. It became an HBO film starring Harry Hamlin, Jason Robards, and Rip Torn. His 16 subsequent novels have made the Los Angeles Times and New York Times bestseller lists, won numerous awards from the Mystery Writers of America and booksellers. Silent Joe, one of his many standalone thrillers, won both the Edgar Award and the Los Angeles Times Book Prize. Jeff has also edited an anthology of crime fiction involving fishing entitled Hook, Line, and Sinister. Jeff has 17 million books in print. Jeff's current novel is Iron River, the 3rd crime novel to feature LA Sheriff's Deputy Charlie Hood. Iron River is set between San Diego and Corpus Christi, Texas, and involves the Iron River of illegal weapons that flow along that stretch of the US-Mexican border. The Kingpins. With as many books as you've all written, what keeps writing fresh for you?
Well, you write 7 days a week, I hear. What keeps it fresh?
7 days a week? Yeah, this is my day off. I guess it's because I love the characters I write about. My problem is that there's never enough time I'm not a fast writer, and there isn't enough time to write all the stories I want to write, but I really, truly love being with Elvis and Joe and the other characters that I create. They're not always easy to be with, but I can't think of anything I'd rather do more, so it never feels stale for me. I'm always constantly reaching for the time I have with them.
Cool.
Yeah, I think we all kind of treasure the opportunity we have, and through these books you can explore characters. You can also say stuff about Southern California or whatever you want to, any issue, anything you want to do. The opportunities there, and that should be inspiring in itself. But if you're lucky enough and you kind of tap into a character and you kind of instinctively know, I want to come back to this person, possibly again and again, that is quite an exhilarating position to be in.
Jeff, for you, is there a difference in your interest level when you're coming back to a series character as opposed to when you're writing standalones?
No, I haven't noticed any difference. I'm writing a series now, kind of for the first time ever, really. And I'm 3 books into that, almost 4. I'm finishing one up now. And I'll tell you what gets me out of bed in the morning and what keeps the writing fresh is the idea that I really don't generally know what's going to happen in the story, and I feel like I'm a guest in that story, and I get up in the morning and I go out and I see what's down, and I'm really curious to find out what's going to happen next, just hopefully like you guys are, you know. And, that for me makes it an interesting work day. I like being along for the ride.
Yeah, so you're open to wherever the story takes you. Okay. Michael, in Harry Bosch, you've written an iconic detective, and he's been through this incredible journey inside and outside of the LAPD, and also through what I like to call the stations of manhood, almost. Can you give people a feel for Harry's journey in 9 Dragons and how he grows as a man?
Well, I don't know how he grows as a man. I do know that it was a book that was kind of set into motion a long time ago when he found out he had a daughter.
Right.
And you know, I see that book, which was called Lost Light, as a big marker in the series. The series was never the same after that because Harry wasn't the same. Because the first part of the series was all about him kind of putting this armor on and becoming a man who could not be gotten to because he figures for him to carry out this mission he feels he has in life, he can't be gotten to. And then he found out he had a daughter, and he kind of knew in the back of his mind, I can be gotten to. And so 9 Dragons is the book where they get to him. And so it's really an exploration of his ultimate vulnerability. And I guess if anyone has that kind of experience in their life, where they're laid that low because of something that they've done, I think they obviously would grow in some way as a man or as a person, but I can't put my finger on exactly what that growth is because you know, that's why I wrote the books. I'm going to keep coming back to Harry, and I don't really put my finger on stuff. I just hope he just keeps evolving and has new experiences that make him interesting.
Mm-hmm. Bob, you deal with that too in your series, and I think Joe Pike is particularly interesting as a man. He's certainly the antithesis in some ways of Elvis, but in the first rule, you really take him in a different direction too, in terms of how he looks at family and what's motivating him.
I'm still trying to figure out what stations of manhood is. Along the way. I think, you know what I think? Isn't this a pretentiously named panel, the Kingpins? When I saw that, I thought, Christ, I hope no one thinks that I thought that up. And then I thought, well, it feels like, I'm thinking bowling alley. You got your boss lined up, like,
I'm gonna mow you down.
You brought the balls. And you end up with them after the Connelly's over here sitting thinking, what's he going to say next?
Point, obviously, you're on the first station